Catz 2 is exactly the same game as Dogs 2, with the only exception being cats in the game instead of dogs. It's like somebody took a marker to the box and crossed out dogs and put cats. You would think making a game about cats wouldn't be too hard. Just make a game about a human doing its normal daily tasks and a cat sitting around doing nothing, barely tolerating your existence. So I figured if the developers were so lazy enough to just change a few things and call it a brand new game, I would do the same thing with my review. So let's review Catz 2. The game is basically running on the same engine as the Dog Island with the same enemies, textures, and control in both games. But everything about it has been made too simple and dumbed down. You play as a pussycat who stupidly releases an evil wolf from jail. And the wolf uses a magic hat to take over the world and turn all the wild animals crazy. You have to repair your town and eventually kill the wolf and return the magic hat. The story isn't very compelling. Instead of saving your sick brother, you have to spend most of the game fixing all the problems you caused. The game's development is really odd. If you're going to take everything that was good in the Dog Island and make it simpler for younger kids, that's fine. But why would you make the storyline for the game so dark it might scare them? Another problem I had was the smelling you had to do. You had to smell out certain smells to find items for your quests. It's too easy compared to the Dog Island. Instead of bars that would increase when you're getting close, it just points you in the direction of where you're supposed to go. It makes the icon smaller or larger depending on how far you are away from it. Then you shake your Wiimote to dig around and find the item. Like the Dog Island, you'll have to deal with the out-of-control wildlife, who depending on their on-screen mood will attack you. To defend against it, you have to sneak up behind them and startle them by meowing at them. The quests you had to embark on weren't compelling at all, and most of the time resorted to lame fetch quests. Sometimes you'd have to go back and forth to the same characters a few times in just one quest. It becomes tedious really fast. There were a few things they did right though. When you finish a quest, it instantly sends you back to the person who sent you on the quest, instead of making you backtrack. Plus, the on-screen map with icons to tell you where you should be heading is a big improvement. I also like the fishing better on this version. It felt tighter and easier to do. There were also minigames to play, but they weren't compelling to replay at all. They felt like it was an add-on to the game at the last minute. However, the game was fun at times, and if it didn't have such tedious quests, it would be an easy recommendation. But there is one thing that this game has going for it. It can be found for $10 new. And that's a hard thing to say no to. Even though the game has some boring parts in it, you could easily find enough content to justify buying it due to its small price tag. The ages I think might find this game enjoyable would be about the 5 to 9-year-old range. But like I said, there is a questionable backstory to this. But if you think your child can handle it, buy it now.